Beta Test Like a Pro, the app and product testing model. Hello, everyone. My name is Tessa, and I'm the director of IdeaPros marketing team. And today I'm going to talk to you about beta testing, and I'm not just talking about the app side, which we will cover apps, but we're also going to talk about how to go through this beta testing model with your product. So both of our target audience here on our lives will be happy to hear it does crossover. So let me know in the chat if you're watching live, and if you have a product or an app, let me know in the chat. Hey Kelly, hey Kyle, Martin, good to have you here. Yes, beta testing. So as you can see, well, even in this little picture that's on the screen here, alpha beta release, or in my office here, it's alpha beta launch, because releasing is part of it, but with most of our entrepreneurs, it's also considered a launch. So we're going to talk about both. Hello, good to have you guys. And I'm actually going to walk you through a presentation that I have. IdeaPros is meeting right now. So you have me, but every single person in our IdeaPros company is in all team meeting right now, which is to help you guys have better solutions. And so I am going to put up on the screen this presentation. Hopefully it will cooperate, and then we'll be able to walk through it. So let me know in the chat, again, if you are an app or a product. I'm just curious how many people today are on which side, so I can lean a little either way if I need to. So there we go. You should be able to see it in a moment. So app development for Megan. Gotcha. Kyle's got an app. I know Tim, I think you have an app too. So lock it. I know Martin, coming soon. All right. So I'm going to put, hopefully this will share for y'all to full screen. Close. I'm going to go ahead with it. We're just going to do this. All right. So we'll go big with me next to it. Okay. I don't know why it's not going a little bigger than that, but that's okay. We're going to be fine. Well, no, it won't go any bigger. All right. So we're going to beta test like a pro today. And this is, if you consider the stages that I talked about just a moment ago, there's alpha, beta, and then launch. So alpha is the testing that you're doing with your product. If you have a product, you have a prototype, you're testing with that prototype to make sure it does what you want it to do. In the app world, an alpha test would be you working with the app team to make sure that the app does, acts as you want it to. A beta is when you're at least close enough that you're ready to put it to the target audience. And we're going to have next week, I hope it's next week, we're going to have one of our app partners who's launching to the App Store right now that can come on and talk about the experience and what that's like. But we're talking about the beta test, which means it's close enough to give to other people to test, whether it's a product or an app. Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Meal prep. Yes. Katie, app. Yep. I know you guys are ready for my beta testing then. All right. So we're going to go ahead and dive into, I have 10 things to go over with you, but most importantly, we have to talk about what can be tested. Anything that's on a shelf or on a website store needs one that is products. Mobile apps are in the App Store, but that could apply to a web-based app as well. And then we're going to talk about number one, you're going to have to decide the size of the group that you want to test with. And a lot of people, you would not believe how many people are like, I'm just going to get as many people as I can into this test. It depends on your app. Do you want to get really good feedback from a couple of people who are actively using it and then engaging with you? Or do you want to have a bunch of people to test so that you can test the load of your server or the features in a big group? I can tell you that 10 testers is going to be easier than 1,000 testers. So you have to also think about what it is that's going to be best for you and your business. How many can you actually engage with during the beta testing period? Not all testers are going to give you really good feedback either. So some of them aren't going to be able to find all those little bugs, whether it's product or in the app. everyone's going to have a different level of using your item. And so you want to make sure you have enough to be able to get a good test and to get a list of things that need to be changed. So my magic number is, well, here, you tell me, guys, what would you do? 10 testers, 100 testers, or 1,000? So Sean's being bold. He's going 1,000. Okay, 1,000's good. 1,000's good. Anyone else that want to put in a number for us? Hey, Crashpad, good to have you, Ken. So we're talking about beta testing, but Crashpad, this and Ken, that we're also talking about product beta testing. And I know your product's already out there, so I'm sure you have some thoughts about how you did your product testing in the beginning. So Martin says 100. Keith says 100. Martin, so this is what you could handle within your group. 100 is actually a lot of people. If you think about it, it's a lot of people to have to, stay engaged with. The magic number that they say is 100 to 300 beta testers. And that's just kind of in general, and that applies to more on the app side, obviously, because you're not shipping products. Now, when you're working with products, it is going to be a little different. How many can you actually get into the hands of people? And if you did do a small run, how many can you afford in that small run to give to somebody without necessarily getting a profit back, right? Most beta testers are doing it for the product free, or they're doing it for a kickback, if you will. So this will apply though on both sides. So that's perfect. Thank you, Timbo. 10,000. Okay, you are going to be one busy man. I'm gonna say, some apps do need that kind of level of testers, but this is going to come into play, which is the number 2 thing that you have to take in consideration. Who is ideal beta tester? So there's 2 different types of testers. There's technical, and then there's influencer or marketing tester. So technical are the people who are really using the product or app, right? They're going to find those bugs. They're going to tell you, I can't upload my photo. I'm having trouble with, changing my profile name. I can't use your product. Your product is too heavy, too light. Those are your technical testers. Now, the influencer testers are more of your marketing outreach. So they're the people who need the product, but maybe even it's not them that needs the product, but their audience would really benefit from the product. And I'm going to actually dive in and show you guys a product beta test that was sent to me that I had the privilege of participating in. But I would be a great example of a technical beta tester. I am always going to tell you what is not working about your system, because I know that's what people really need to know. But I may not have the influencer status, but I can tell you technically. So awesome. Good to have you guys. I see everyone popping on. We're talking about beta testing. And right now, number 2 is who is the ideal beta tester. So you're going to think about who is it that you're trying to get, and maybe make a good balance of those technical people as well as influencers. And I will tell you, please be careful when you are giving your product to influencers. Be strategic, because you may want that influencer to actually have the best working model instead of being early on, and maybe there are glitches. They're going to give up a lot easier, possibly, and or put out information to your audience that you don't want to have go there. Exactly. Go technical first, and then think about your influencers. And maybe you have some small influencers that have a good impact on your target audience, but they're not the type. Maybe you have a personal relationship with them and you're able to say, can you test this offline? And if you love it, then can you put it onto your, to your audience? Perfect. Okay, so the other thing that you need to look at for the ideal beta tester is, where are they? So you're going to create, who are they and where are they? So you're going to create a beta tester persona. So who is that? What does that person look like? Are they very tech savvy? Are they not tech savvy? Are they in a specific industry? Everyone's app and product is going to be different on this. Where do they hang out now? Are they in a group? Are they in a Facebook group? Are they hanging out on Instagram? Do they love to watch YouTube? Where are they, and how are you going to reach them? And what is their current skill level? So again, are they going to be on the novice side of what you're bringing in, or are they going to be on the experienced side of what you're bringing in, so that you can log them in that way, so you're not skewing the data that you're going to get? So number 3, and just let me know if you guys have any questions, or any feedback on this, I'd love to hear in the chat. So I have technical and influencer on there. So picking a timeline, actually, this is really relevant. So when you're picking a timeline, you have to take into consideration how much time is it going to take for either of those people, your technical or your influencers, to get through and thoroughly test your product or app. So if you were to say, I'm going to have a 2-week beta test, are they going to be able to consume it, even do anything in your app or try your product in that amount of time? If it's a skincare product that you're having somebody test, then are they going to be able to see results in that amount of time? Are they going to be able to give you feedback? So a perfect timeline for me is about a month, and we do it in sprints. And the sprints are actually going to be once a week. And maybe you think of your logical order of what people would need to do for your item. So if they're going to have to set up a profile, and then they're going to have to put a listing on, and then they're going to have to search through, I don't know, people on there, right? If you have these stages, then think of your sprints in those stages and give incentive for them to finish the tasks that you need them to get through on each week, and keep in touch with them. So I'm going to say, though, we're going to kind of go backwards here. We picked a timeline. Let's say we have a month. Now we're going to go find our beta testers. These are resources that I'm going to link in the chat for you guys. These are app beta testing services, if you will, where you can find people that are going to beta test. So early bird, beta list, beta bound, beta testers, and you can use the hashtag test my app on your posts to find people who might be interested as well. Again, I know this is it. This is how you source testers. You can find them in different boards for beta testing. Now, if you've got product testing, that's a lot easier because you are actually looking. Well, actually, you know what? Here we go. You could look in the Facebook groups. You could look at your. You could do a search on the internet and find people who are already posting that they want a solution to a problem. Those could be great beta testers for products. Yes, exactly. So I'm going to put these links in the chat, no problem, because early bird, beta list, beta bound, and beta testers, I don't know if it'll work right now, but at the end, I promise I will put them in for you. So beta testing, so we're going to deliver now to our beta testers. So step 5, deliver to your beta testers. So there's app. Most of you actually are app people. You might know, raise your hand or give me a thumbs up if you are in test flight. There's also Google Play Console. So those are 2 that you'll typically see on our end from our partners. There are other testing platforms as well for the beta testers to try your app. Now, products, it's going to be more Facebook groups. You might find you actually search for product testers. There's actually jobs like on Upwork and like Fiverr. You can get product testers on those channels because they want the free products. So take a look, do some search, and you can find some people. And most of the time, like I have a wonderful lady. Oh my gosh, I don't know if she's going to be on this. But Melanie is an amazing product tester. She actually does a review on a blog. She'll actually do photos. So if you want to get hooked up with Melanie, let me know in the chat, because she is a product tester and she's a mom, and that's her kind of target audience. So then there is Billow app, which is it's a video platform where you can request video reviews of your products. So I love Billow because you do get a really honest feel for what people are experiencing about the product, but you also get a nice video that you can actually use on social media. So I highly recommend it. I've used them for lots of things. It's all over the board. It's not necessarily super polished, but you can get at least some really good video of your product and the beta testing process. And sometimes you'll find out, they'll tell you, hey, I could not install this. I could not figure out how to download this. So those are some of the ways that you're going to deliver your beta to your testers. And then we're going to go into, other thing, customer experience matters everywhere. No matter what you're doing, app or product, customer experience matters because this is the first people that are going to experience your product. So I have to show you. So I was a beta tester for this product, which is Green Orchid. Love this lady. She has such a beautiful package. This is how it came. It's very beautifully wrapped, and there were specifics on the package. So it basically says, thank you. Here, let me make this small so you guys can see this, because this is really, really relevant. So thank you for your order. So we did actually order it, and we ordered it online with a discount code. And then there's how to reach out. Remember, this is it's talking about the product line, and I love how she designed all of this. There's QR code and everything, guys. So customer experience matters. But beyond that, then she also had ways for us to get in touch with her and give her feedback. But this is just so crazy. So she has some products that we could test that were in there. And there's even like a beautiful sticker. She went to all out. Her product is gorgeous anyway. But they're small packs, so not gigantic packs of anything to test as the product. And then also, this is brilliant, little tiny containers of each smell. So this is a huge way for you to decide, is this even something that people care about? So in this pack, there were lots of these little testers, and they have their smell on the bottom. I don't think you can see it, but it says Island Vibes. So, and then there were some big products in here as well, some very unique products. I did have a little bit of a challenge figuring out how to use some, but on the back, she has, why is my camera not working today? But she has on the back, like it literally says how to use it. It's not cooperating. And there's really clear instructions on what to do. So now that's a product example. She did amazing, and I love this product line. So if you want to check it out, you can. From an app side, how do you deliver a great customer experience from the app side? You got to stay in touch with them, guys. You have to keep your beta testers engaged. So we're going to move on to here, and that is keep them engaged. Break it up into sprints, like I said, and make sure that you send weekly messages, text and emails. If for all of our partners at IdeaPros, you know, we set up an amazing system where you can stay in touch with your audience. You could even set your beta testing schedule so that they get an email every single week, maybe on a certain day. Another thing that you could do is use incentives. So on some of the app beta testing programs that I've been on, they had a specific challenge at the beginning of each week, which was to say, fill in my profile. And then at the end of the week, they were going to draw out of the people who did successfully set up their profile. They would draw a winner, and they would get $200 or whatever it was. So money is extremely motivating for people to get through a beta testing program. So you could use incentives that are money related, or you can use, you can actually give a gift instead, like a gift card. And it's not public testing. So you're doing this within a platform that you decide you want to communicate with them by email and text, you know, or on the website. I have seen password protected areas for beta testers. Keep in mind, like the information that's coming out of these app testing and the beta testing for the product, what's coming out of it may or may not be positive. And so it's not a bad idea to have a protection from the outside public. So if you have a special page on your website that is password protected, or even has a login area for those beta testers, it's going to help create a barrier that protects you. There's ways that you can put chat and give feedback plugins on your website so that they can actually just click on leave feedback and give you some answers to a survey, or they could give you direct feedback in there, and it goes into your system. So there's lots of ways to do it so that it's private. And then, of course, you're going to have to make it easy for them to give that feedback. So you have to have an easy way for them to communicate with you and be appreciative. Give back feedback that you received, what they said. Your beta testers will fizzle out if you are not thanking them and keeping them thinking that they are making a difference. When beta testers do what they do because they want to hear that they're making a difference in the world. Like this product, like my difference, what I can do is tell her what my favorite scents are, right? So I have a mission. I have something that I'm supposed to be doing. So keep that in mind when you're picking how you're going to communicate to people. Give them ways for them to get that feedback right back to you in a private way. And then, of course, process the feedback. So you ask all these people what they think and what they care about. Make sure that you have a way to log it. Well, before that, be open-minded, because there is going to be positive and negative. And remember that they're not judging you personally as the business owner. They're not. They might have, they might say, "Oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever. It crashed my whole computer." They're not mad at you. They're mad at the software. So be open-minded and remember it's not anything personal and you can change it. And then you're going to log the suggestions that come in from people. And I recommend you do a spreadsheet. You can do Google Forms, which actually pop the information right into a spreadsheet, and ask like survey questions every week. That's how I do my beta testing, is to send a survey out each week. We just beta tested a course for Fred. And so we learned through that process that, hey, you have to have a better way of getting the information from people every single touch point. So I learned in hindsight on that one that you need to have like a Google form where they can submit feedback, and then you can sort it. So you can be selective on what things are most important to you. One of the worst things that you can experience as a business owner that's creating an app or a product is that it's easy to think you have to include everything. Everything has to be in it. It has to have every feature. It has to have lights, and it has to have music and all this stuff. Or the app has to be able to do 500 things. Well, most often that's what's going to actually crash your product or app, because too many features is just it's not focused. It's not going to be a good thing for you. So be selective on what's most important to you, and then group things in versions. So if you do think of a version 1, version 2, just like Apple, we have like 8,000 OS systems, right? So if you have to prioritize, then do it in like version 1, version 2, version 3. Think of it as how, is this important? Is it critical to us getting our beta out, our app going? And then also, is it something that's really going to add value, or is it just a pretty thing? Pretty things don't necessarily work better, right? So you've got to decide, is this what I want to do? Yeah, master what's important to you and your app. Absolutely, Kyle. No doubt. All right. So then we've processed it. Now this is a big one, guys. Stay in touch with your beta testers and make sure that you are keeping them posted on what's being implemented. I like doing this with hey, we have this version coming out. Thanks to all our beta testers that have contributed. Here's the features that we're adding. And even if somebody asked for a feature and you can recognize them, like highlight your beta testers, even do special posts where you're like, hey, these are all my beta testers. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Give them shout outs whenever you can, because that's going to encourage them to keep going, one, in your beta testing, but also to build a relationship that they become a loyal fan, because you actually appreciate them, right? Celebrate the wins. Like items sold or download milestones. So let them know, hey, we've got to 5,000 downloads. We got to 10,000 downloads. Do a special. Make sure you're featuring them. Hey, Ken. Yes. And so once you've celebrated your wins, then guys, don't give up, because the positive feedback, the negative feedback, it's all teaching you something. And when it's all said and done, you're going to learn what the best thing is for your clients, and you're going to learn what you need to do, what kinds of things you need to forecast, and be able to make the very best apps and products possible. Oh, exactly. Awesome, guys. Well, that's it in a nutshell for our demonstration. Of course, if you guys have any questions, let me know. But we're here every Friday at noon Pacific time. So I'm just going to stop sharing and come back to you guys. So I'm going to look in the chat too. Do you guys think that this is going to better empower you to be able to do your beta testing? Let me know in the chat if that's the case. Being transparent with future product updates. Patrick, such a good point. What's upcoming, and it's important to keep interest. Definitely need to keep your audience engaged and keep them updated for sure. Oh, we have a question. Okay. What about private group? Yes, you can do a private group for beta testers. Absolutely. I love that because it is an audience that you'll have protected behind, they have to be approved to come in, and then they cannot share out those posts. So that's another good thing about a private Facebook group, because they cannot share out anything. Now it's a downside if you want to build your audience and they are going to be referring friends. So keep that in mind, that referring cannot happen in a private group as easily. And so it is a little bit of a trick to get them out of the private group and back onto a public area. So awesome. Well, thank you so much. Oh, thanks, Odin. Thank you. I appreciate it. And guys, if you have ideas on ways to do, if you want to be a beta tester for apps that we have coming out, let me know in the chat. If you're willing to be a technical or influential beta tester, if you are interested in beta testing products, let us know as well in the chat, because we do have a lot of those coming out. All right. Oh, yes. And Kyle said, remember to focus on your vision, because you simply cannot please everyone all the time. And that's so true. And especially when you're using social media, especially when you're looking to publicly get these things out there, it's just almost, it can get very draining on you if you're looking at everything that people are saying, but you have to do it because it's where you're going to learn. Your weaknesses are in those comments. They're in the feedback that you get. So you have to be aware of them. You're welcome, Mary. I'm so glad that you were here for beta testing. And guys, I'm going to run because the meeting's still going that I have to get back to. But, oh, hey, Katie's going to be a beta tester for some apps. Awesome. We have a lot, and you can test hers too. Steve, great to see you. Can't wait till Eclipse is out because I'll be a beta tester for you. Absolutely. So we will see you guys all next week, next Friday at noon Pacific time. And if you haven't already, hit the follow button on YouTube and on Facebook so that you get notifications when we go live. But we'll see you all next time. Thank you.